I scare you? Hello there, and welcome to ASMR 32. This week we will be reviewing Resident Evil 8. Now, before we get into this review, I think I need to give some background on this game. So, this game is actually my first Resident Evil game. I hear a lot of people talk about it. I've seen some people play other games, but this is the actual first one that I have played. I had considered picking up older entries in the franchise, however, for those 5 people who actually watched my Medium review, they know that I'm not really into scary games, but I decided, since I have nothing better to do, and now that I have a channel where I can actually review things, I thought this game would be a good game to finally review. Does this game actually live up to expectations? Well, yes, it actually does. I tricked you, didn't I? You thought it would be negative, it was positive. Gotcha. This game is pretty good, it's pretty great, alright? So let's talk first about how this game looks and sounds. Well, this game probably has the best graphics and best atmosphere out of any game that I have reviewed thus far. It looks the best, and the atmosphere of this game are great. The locations of this game is great. The sound of this game is great. The music of this game, I mean, there's no standout tracks, but it's great because it complements the game well. this game right away before we get too deep into it. And it's that Resident Evil 8 is not a horror game. It's not really a scary game either. I would say maybe the first hour is scary. At least it was for me. Since, you don't really know what you're doing. There are these weird creatures all around. It can be pretty scary. However, after that first hour, it really isn't that scary. It's more of a action game with some scary elements. There's a section of this game where it tries to be more of the horror vibe to it. However, even this really isn't that scary, or at least it wasn't for me. So this game isn't that scary. That didn't take away from it. I was just surprised by it. The best sort of analogy I can make with this is, imagine you have a bowl of ice cream. The ice cream is the action part of this game. Now, the sprinkles on the ice cream is the horror part. It's not as big as the ice cream. There you go. It took me a long time to think of that. Alright. Contrasts from previous entries in the franchise. I hear people saying that this is a mix between 7, which from what I have seen is more of a horror-based game, and 4, I believe, where it's more action-based. So it is a mix of both, and the gameplay complements this quite well, as the gun play feels okay. It's not going to shock you, and sometimes it can feel clunky, but it's okay. The enemies in this game, just the general enemies, are also pretty threatening even towards the end of the game, if you're not being careful enough. And they also have unique designs and kind of a unique idea to them. The story of this game is also pretty good, I would say, and despite not playing any of the games, I understood it well enough. I feel like Resident Evil is just one of those franchises where you know a little bit about the lore, like you know Umbrella Corporation exists. It's just one of those game franchises. The game also provides you a nice recap of Resident Evil 7, 8 being a direct sequel playing as the same character as Resident Evil 7. So that also helped me a lot in understanding the lore of this game. this is a more of a action-based game, and some of the game elements that are introduced revolve around that. For example, a new element in this game is the shopping mechanic, where you basically have a traveling merchant named Duke, who you can buy things from and sell valuable items to upgrade your weapons, get new materials, and all of that such. Speaking of characters, the characters in this game are really great. I just mentioned Duke. Duke is one of my favorite characters in this game. Duke is really the only one you can trust in this game. He is so nice to you. And he's a very chunky boy. I just say that. There are other good characters in this game. For example, Chris, who is like this agent for the Umbrella Corporation. Yes, there it is. And of course, you have, oh god, here we go, the lady you cannot pronounce the name of, Dimitrescu or something. She is pretty interesting. I call her Mommy D. She is very... Please punish me, Mommy. No! I will not be a simp. I will not simp for Mommy D. Not like these other people. I am not a simp for Mommy D. Alright, let's get that clear. I must regain my composure now. Speaking of Mommy D, her portion of the game is easily the best portion of the game. Not just because she's a meme or internet waifu. this is actually just the best portion of the game. However, it's also a smaller portion of the game than what I had expected. It's only about 25% of the game, so that could be a disappointment for some people who were expecting some more tall woman action. Of course, when a attractive woman comes out, ASMR channels especially have to jump on it with the role plays. Good job, female ASMRs. You really jumped on this one quite fast. Damn it. Of course, there are other people other than Mommy D who are good characters. There's another character called Heisenberg. I like him a lot as well. Talking about all the good aspects of this game, let's start talking about the bad aspects. But before we start talking about the bad aspects, I'm gonna address some of the things I find especially funny, or things that other reviewers have said. First of all, a lot of reviewers say that some of the dialogue in this game can be a little bit strange. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'll be like Alexander the Great in his last stand to Leonidas on the 300 men and say that the dialogue is really not that bad, or at least it's not as bad as they're saying it is. There are a few lines in the entire game that may be a little bit strange, but this provides a good little laugh, a good little chuckle, and I don't think that it is as bad as everyone says, and I also don't think that is a very big negative point of the game. Another thing I find hilarious is the setting of this game. This is set in Europe, I believe in Romania in particular. This is hilarious when you're playing the game because it's very strange. So let me break it down for you. Despite this being said in Romania, most of the signs are in English, okay, and not Romanian. Not only are the signs in English, but also all the villains are speaking English. Okay, maybe the villains are bilingual. No, a lot of respect there. Not only do the villains speak perfect English, but the townspeople also speak perfect English. This is a little strange since I believe in the lore, this town, this village you are in, is pretty cut off from the outside world. So it's very interesting that they can manage to speak English very well. However, not only can they speak English not only perfectly, but with an American accent. So it's kind of strange. This isn't a negative. I just think it's really funny. Now, we can talk about some of the negatives about this game. The first negative I have for this game is the characters. Although some characters are really strong, Mommy D, Heisenberg, and Chris, and Duke, of course, there are also some characters that are surprisingly weak. There is a character whose name is something along the lines of Benvito or something, another antagonist of the game. And there's another antagonist of this game who I don't even remember the name of. I'll describe him, he's sort of the loser, stupid idiot of the antagonists of the game. I don't even remember his name. So I think it would have been good to explore some of these other characters more, so, we understand them better, and so that they can get the same treatment as Mommy D, so that the characters feel a little bit more balanced, especially the ugly, stupid one, because his story was very interesting, because he's the loser of the group. Everyone doesn't like him, so exploring the other antagonist characters more would have done the story very well. Ethan Winters, the main character of this game, the character you play, is also pretty bland and boring. And I think his wife, Mia, is incredibly annoying and kinda bitchy. So, they could have used work on some of the characters in this game. Half of them are bad, and half of them are good. So, negative I have with this game is towards the end of this game, I feel like it loses its direction a little bit. The last dungeon in this game, no spoilers of course, but the last dungeon in this game sort of just throws it throws a couple enemies at you in a small room that you have to fight, and that sort of gets boring real quickly, that you'll begin to sort of roll your eyes and you won't take these enemies seriously anymore. So the ending, the last dungeon, I think could have been handled a little bit better. Also, don't like the end game content they have here. When you beat the game, you unlock a mercenary mode where you can basically hunt down a bunch of enemies and kind of like a Doom style game. That's fine, I don't really care. But they also allow you to replay the game with certain new abilities, like you can have unlimited ammo. I feel like this sort of end game of where you can replay a story again, but you're slightly more powerful than what you were, is kind of boring. I don't like it. I would have much preferred them to give us the ability to go back and explore the village before we did the final boss, so that I can collect things or do things that I've missed that way. I just prefer that version of exploring better than replaying an entire story again. But instead of, being limited by ammo, I have unlimited ammo. I just feel like it's kind of lazy. The last thing I have to say about this game. Overall, a very good experience. I actually played this game in one sitting. I did an all-nighter and finished this game. It took me about 11 hours, which pretty wild. I would give this game an overall score of, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I was almost at 9, but I think this game is more of an 8 than a 9. Besides, it's Resident Evil 8. Why would I give it a 9 if it's Resident Evil 8? It's just nicer. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this style of review again. I will see you next time. What game am I going to review next? By the way, this is 100% better than the medium. Just gotta point that out. I love you enough to fight a bunch of werewolf zombies in order to save you from antagonist demon lady. Bye bye. But I won't sim for you like I do for Marie. Bye bye. Surprise, the video is not over yet because I forgot to do something. While editing the video, I remembered I needed to do something very, very important. The universe weighs in the balance if I do not make this decision. weeks ago, I believe, I made a Lego video. What a shock. It's about Legos. About the birthday clown, and I had asked a question of what language you wanted the happy birthday in on the flag. Now, I totally did not forget that I asked that question at all. And I totally was not confused when people started commenting languages. And I totally did not forget to do it last update as well. But I have it now. I said I would do it. I never said when I would do it. So I have a clown boy. Okay. I have to put the flag back in since it fell off. And the clown fell off. Alright, and then I have the language sheet, and I have to take out the Chinese one because someone asked for Chinese. Have the overlords watch down upon us. I can't, god damn it, I had to put it on like the... There you go. Are you happy? And... Oh, alright, there you go. And there you go. The Chinese happy birthday. I did what I was asked to do. I fulfilled my promise. Now I will see you next time. I love you enough to actually follow through with a question I had asked. I'm very stupid and I forget things that I say. Bye bye. For real this time though.